Good morning, guys. Good morning, and welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It's Friday, and of course, being Friday, we want to come with happy, happy thoughts,
Yes.
happy news. Jay just come down here trying to bum out my whole energy
What?
with all your monkeypox story.
Well, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we have somebody who is going to raise my spirits. I have no doubt. Did you turn on the music? Yeah, turn on the music so we could hear.
No. Let me just adjust really quickly.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
guys, of course, we mentioned before we went to the break that we're gonna have some talks concerning Carnival, and who better to talk about Carnival than the Carnival cheerleader herself, Miss Shannon Hawley. Shannon, morning.
Morning, Azam, morning, Jade.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm okay, surviving.
Bob,
How about you guys?
you
Doing
got
well?
Carnival Tabanco, no?
Bad. You see all these carnivals happening in the region. You see, everything is live and lively. The parades are back on the road. So, it is time for us to focus our attention on that. I mean, we know that over the past few months, all of our attention, the whole federation's attention has been focused on other things. But hopefully within the next few weeks, once this election fever is over, we can move forward with our national carnival plans and preparations to ensure that Sugar Mass 51 is one for the books.
Indeed.
Things we love to hear.
Well, I mean, in terms of putting the focus on making sure that we have the experience that we all deserve, because of course it's been 2 years since we haven't had the sugar mass in the way that we would have all liked. But how are the plans coming along, and what can we expect?
Well, as you know, we now have our slogan competition, which was launched, and it ends on Monday, the 25th. So that's the start. Then in the next week, we're going to have the official dates of our national carnival. So of course that everybody can start to prepare, which is the 25th of November down to the 3rd of January. So we'll have our official dates launched. And then we will start our series of meetings, which we have started already with troop leaders, specifically entertainers, DJs, promoters, etc. Because of course we need everyone on board to ensure in the next 4 months that we can come on the road, we can have the best Sugar Mass. I think we all deserve it. We've been through 2 elections, the pandemic. We've been through a lot over the past 2 years. So I think we deserve to be on the road come December, and that we will do. It's a short space of time. We have 4 months to plan, but I think that we can do it with the help of the DJs, promoters, of course, the troop leaders, who we have already started conversations with. We know that it's a tough time, especially for, with the increase in prices, etc., for troop leaders. But we hope that we can come together, knock it off, and make it the best small island carnival in the region.
So you're saying once it is possible, we can look forward to the bands being back on the road?
Absolutely. I mean, what is really going to stop us from being back on the road? There's nothing. I mean, we had a music festival recently with 6,000 people in an enclosed area. There's absolutely nothing or nobody who can stop us from being on the road come December. Nothing. We'll have a mini riot.
Listen, you know it. We'll take to the streets.
As I said, there's nothing that can stop us from being on the road come December. Whether it's a government, whether it's a task force, nobody can stop us from being on the road come December. We will have Sugar Mass. Sugar Mass is us. We are Sugar Mass, and we will be on the road in December.
Well, I mean, I know people are literally, as a matter of fact, I'm sure if we go downstairs right now, people literally running around the Sands Complex, throwing their hands in the air after hearing what you just said, because it has been so much on the minds of people. I know even last year people were hoping, fingers crossed, that we would have been able to celebrate in the way that we expect to this year, and so it's really just long overdue.
For sure. I think, as I said, we deserve it, and for the past 2 years, we've try to have some semblance of Carnival. We had a taste of Sugar Mass last year. We increased it where we had our Carnival shows, our pageants. And this year it's going to go even further. And as I said, we have to be back on the road because that is what makes our Sugar Mass unique. And that is what makes us the best small island carnival in the region. And it's the end of the year, and we have so much to celebrate and give thanks for. So definitely we are aiming to do that. As I said, of course, with the change of ministers over the past few months, it was a bit difficult for us in terms of our communication with the particular ministry, etc. However, we were able to pay off all of our vendors for Sugar Mass 21. And at this point now, we're only ready to look forward, and we're really, really looking forward to what's in store for this year. I'm excited, can't you tell?
As you should
No,
be.
but seriously, I'm very excited about the possibilities. I'm excited about the fact that over the past 2 years, we were able to do it during the pandemic when everybody else was, in lockdown. And I am more excited over the fact that this year we are going to do it with the help of our private promoters, our DJs, entertainers, and we will do it come November 25th, which will be the official start of Sugar Mass 51.
Awesome. And that's a date to look forward to for sure.
Indeed.
You've mentioned a few times the committee's intention and to really work with the private promoters, DJs, band leaders, troops, and whatever, and whoever else, some of these people who have really done so much to create the Sugar Mass that we know. What is what's next for that? Is there going to be a series of meetings? What do you guys expect from these individuals and shareholders?
Well, you would recall over the past 2 years, I've been saying it. I said previously, and I'll say it again, that the National Carnival Committee does not make Sugar Mass. It is the private events. People don't fly in specifically for National Carnival events or shows. What you see people flying in around the region is for events and as I said previously, the road experience. So the intention is to really move our National Carnival events up on the calendar, earlier in the calendar, so that we can have that Power Week, as I have called it previously. We could have that Power Week where we could have, our events, teaming up with private event promoters. I've already had discussions with the troop leaders, started discussions with the troop leaders about how do we move forward in this current environment and in such a short space of time to ensure that we can have a road experience for National Carnival. So for us, it is really this year for 51 focusing on the entertainers. I've said in previous discussions and communications with the event promoters and stakeholders that it is the intention of the National Carnival Committee to split sponsorship funds, distribute sponsorship funds. We know that sponsors are stretched. So in other islands, we've realized, for instance, that any sponsorship funds that have come into specifically the National Carnival Committee has been spread across event promoters, troop leaders, etc. And that is something that we need to look at because we know that it is serious times. We know that, so many people have gone through this pandemic and there are only limited sponsorship funds. So we wouldn't want to deny any of the private event promoters or troop leaders, etc., sponsorship funds that, we can spread across. So we're looking at ways in which we could subsidize specifically troops to be able to come back on the road and events in order for our Power Week to come off with a bang. And we know that we're going to be teaming up with troop leaders. We're going to be teaming up with specific event promoters who have played an important role in Sugar Mass over the years to ensure that, we are what we do is in collaboration, or what they do is in collaboration and full support of the National Carnival Committee. So that is the intention as we speak.
All right, awesome. Because I really love to hear that because, like you said, when you have the Carnival committee kind of functioning as uh, a supporter of these events and these promoters, you tend to get such an amazing product coming out of it. So I'm really happy that that is the direction that we're moving in. I'm really
The
excited about
National
what that
Carnival
brings.
Committee, the National Carnival Committee it should not be in competition with any of the events, especially
Right.
over the Power Week, what we're trying to create. It is the National Carnival Committee is more of a supportive body rather than an event promoter. We are not an event promoter. Never well, the intention under my leadership has never been to be an event promoter rather than an event supporter, and whatever that event may be and whatever that event may be that falls on the National Carnival Committee. Unfortunately, well, or fortunately, last year we had to create, and the year before, as you've been part of it, we've had to create events for the general public. So we've had to create events like the Bubble Juve. We had to create events like Icons because we were trying to find fillers to make up the National Carnival calendar because of the pandemic. However, now we've opened back up. And so therefore our role moves back into a supportive role where we can support the event promoters, especially the larger event promoters who host events that attract regional, we want flights. And I've spoken briefly already as well with the Tourism Authority on how we can team up. You look in the other islands, the Tourism Authority plays a big role with the National Carnival in terms of promoting National Carnival. It's not just like a one page or one paragraph in the Visitor magazine, but actively promotes National Carnival through their specific channels.
Well,
And that's what is important for us as well.
well, I mean, you mentioned something that I was gonna ask about, which is we just had music festival, and one of the challenges, I would assume for the music festival, I haven't spoken to anybody specifically about this, but I could imagine because I've experienced it trying to get to some of the other carnivals and countries, is just the issue of interregional travel. Um, it has been very difficult for persons to move around. Flights are limited since COVID, and even getting performers, entertainers, and stuff around to the different islands has been difficult. Has that been something that your committee has been thinking about, trying to find ways or trying to figure out if there's anything that we could do to help to facilitate persons coming in for the carnival in December?
But based on my previous discussions with the Tourism Authority wearing a different hat, I know that it has been extremely difficult. There's absolutely at this point, as we speak, no getting around it in terms of regional travel. However, we saw with the St. Kitts Music Festival quite a number of individuals who flew in via charters, especially from BVI, the Virgin Islands and the US. So we saw a lot of that over the music festival. It really did not stop individuals who wanted to fly in groups, especially to fly in. We know that our national carnival focuses a lot on returning nationals. So we hope again to get some returning nationals to come back home generally to enjoy Christmas with their families, to also enjoy our national carnival. So for us, it will be tough for specifically for this year, but it is the intention to build. I mean, we have to start somewhere. And it was never that before in terms of us trying to really attract the carnival lovers from around the region to come to St. Kitts. We started it prior to the pandemic. We saw the troop leaders bring in the influencers, the different troop leaders. I mean, we always see the event promoters bring in the international acts, etc., which is no easy feat. So the intention again is for this year, rather than us trying to block support, the intention is really for us to support these troop leaders and the event promoters and entertainers who have the intention to create something big and to collaborate with the National Carnival Committee. These are the experts, right? We are not the experts to promote our National Carnival and create something big for the end of year. We've seen it happen in St. Lucia recently. We see the upcoming, and St. Vincent, we see the upcoming carnival in Grenada. So, and of course, Barbados and Antigua. So we see this happening, and it's for us to observe and to better the experience for the National Carnival lovers. And by all accounts, we've done it over the past 2 years. People have enjoyed what we were able to put on over the pandemic. So we are confident that what we are able to execute now that the restrictions have lessened would be nothing short of amazing.
Well, I mean, for the past 2 years, there has been a real sense of innovative thinking and creativity surrounding the carnivals that we would have had during the pandemic. And I don't see any reason why that would not be the case moving forward, as now we have even more opportunity to be, like I said, innovative and creative. Is there anything that you are looking forward to, anything in the works that excites you?
Any
that
new
you,
things
that,
that
yeah,
we should, we
you
could
could
look
give us a little
forward
taste
to?
of, we like
Yeah.
exclusives here, Shannon.
No, really what the intention is to move the pageants, especially up on the carnival calendar. So we really could, my goal is to team up with these private event promoters and just have this most amazing power week, which would be which would be basically from the 19th to the 23rd. Then we have that break over the Christmas week. Then we have from Juve to the 3rd of January, where we will focus more on the road activities. So really 2 weeks of power, 1 week of events, fets, and 1 week of road experience. And of course we have, Carnival, the weekends fall a little funny this year, but there is nothing that is stopping us. We see it everywhere. There's nothing that is stopping us. We've seen it recently with the music festival. We had events from the Monday straight through to the music festival weekend. There's nothing that is stopping us from pushing events as in the past, only on weekends where we have 5 events on a weekend. There's nothing that is stopping the event promoters from having events throughout the week and being supported by the general public. We've seen it recently during the music festival, and there's absolutely nothing that can stop it from now. So the intention again is to meet up with as many event promoters as possible, set specific dates so that we can release the National Carnival event calendar as soon as possible. I've already reached out to the main event promoters who have the larger events to just ensure that they are on board for this year, and so that we can lock in some dates with them so that we as well can manage our National Carnival events outside of that Power Week. So we've already started reaching out to specific Carnival event stakeholders just to ensure that everybody's on board, because we need everybody on board, no matter how, what large scale or small scale, we need everybody on board to ensure that our celebrations at the end of the year come off with a bang. We all deserve it. I think we've been through a lot, and we all deserve to have that road experience, especially that road experience come December, January 2023.
Well, honestly, I'm very happy to hear that you guys have taken this stance. To be honest, I remember back then my co-host here had mentioned this, and the pushback was crazy. So I'm happy that now people are realizing that Carnival isn't just about the pageants and isn't just about the traditional events. We have more to offer here, and that you guys are taking this stance shows them that, well, he was correct. He was correct in his thinking at the time.
Right. No, but seriously, and I think it is about us to, as I said, collaboration. It is important. It is not about the National Carnival Committee and what we are all volunteers. It is not a paid position. It is, why not leave it up to the experts to actually produce high quality private events, road experiences. This is what draws people from around the region. This is what draws people's attention to St. Kitts-Nevis, rather than an event being hosted by the National Carnival Committee, which essentially is a bunch of volunteers putting on an event. So other than the traditional shows, etc., we've already reached out to, as I said, the larger event promoters who that their events are a staple on the National Carnival calendar. The Team Inception, the Cane Juice, the Glow Parade, etc. These events are events that when you hear National Carnival, you think of these events. So I've already personally reached out to these event promoters just to ensure that, just to understand where they are at in their preparations, just to confirm that we are definitely hosting National Carnival this year so that they as well can start their planning in terms of, how they plan to execute their events for National Carnival. And very shortly, within the next week, we will be opening up registration for all of our events for the National Carnival calendar in terms of our National Carnival events, pageants, etc. So you will see more and more from us, or hear more and more from us over the next few weeks. That is the intention. And as I said, we hope that once the election fever is over, then we move straight into the carnival fever over the next 4 months as we prepare.
I suspect for it to be so. I feel like people have been waiting to get back to normal life, and that includes having carnival. And so once we get through these 2 weeks and whatever weeks it takes them to go through all the court cases, we will be back on track.
Yeah, remember the video, the partner just out and he was bawling out, "Oh, wow, fat."
Well, listen, that has to be a part of our DNA, and to have that removed, it was tragic. So again, we're happy to hear that we are about to be back to some type of normalcy, and be able to experience not only road activities, but the fetes and the pageants and all of these things that make up Carnival.
Yeah, and as I said, it doesn't matter the government, it doesn't matter the committee. One thing we know for sure is that there will be a National Carnival. We've had, some skeptics saying, the people are wondering, they haven't heard much from us. They're wondering, is there a National Carnival? What's happening? So I'm here to say that there definitely is a National Carnival this year. The dates are set from November 25th to January 3rd. And it's just a matter of now execution and working alongside private event promoters, the entertainers, troop leaders, calypsonians, the band leaders, tent leaders, to ensure that all facets of our National Carnival are fulfilled and what people enjoy. Because we know, of course, we want to have something for everyone.
Correct.
Indeed.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Jade, what about you?
Of course. Well, listen, Carnival is my time. You know this.
Yeah, that was wild out here. Yeah, that's true.
And we're seeing the energy, Jade, and as we're seeing the energy over the past 6 months now that, things are opening up, we're seeing the energy with the event promoters. We're seeing the types of events that are being executed over the past 6 months specifically, 7 months specifically. High quality events and attracting hundreds and thousands of people. So we want that same energy to be transferred to the festive season, the traditional festive season.
Yeah, and the way that people have been looking forward and waiting for this, I don't see that as being an issue. And so it's just about us making sure that we all play our parts to ensure that this is the best sugar mass that there's ever been.
Indeed.
And I really believe that there's a very big chance that it very well might be.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's nothing that we can't pull off with collaboration. So absolutely.
Indeed.
Well, Shannon, it was a pleasure speaking to you and getting some updates on what's happening through our Carnival period. I'm sure lots of people were looking forward to hearing what would be happening, and they're very pleased with what they heard. So we will catch up because, of course,
For sure. In studio.
Yes. So see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. As it's time for us to jet.
We gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta listen back, guys.